So, welcome to Sofia, and first of all I'll talk to you about the transport system here. If you're familiar with transport for London, you'll understand the whole tap-on, tap-off thing that you can use a credit or debit card with. They have that here too. So, first journey we made was from the airport. The metro goes into the airport station. You tap your debit card onto it and it charges your card for that journey. On the way out, you just go through a barrier. You don't tap out, just tap in. So I got charged on my Bulgarian Lev account with Trading 212, one Lev 60, and Ruth used her Sterling debit card, which is denominated in British pounds, and it translated to charging her 69p. So really reasonable price for coming from the airport right into the centre of the city of Sofia. And the other thing that was interesting to note, by the way, the metro, although it's overground a lot of the time, is in some kind of covered walkway type tunnelling. So it's above the surface, but you can't see out across the city as you travel, which is, I think, a bit of a shame. The travel card situation, which the local residents have a travel card, whereas we use just our debit cards. They can be used on all the public transport here. So you've got the metro, you've got trams, there's a lot of trams. You maybe see a few in the background while I'm talking to you. There's trolley buses and there's ordinary bendy buses, although they're not ordinary in a lot of cities in Britain, but we do see those particular type of buses. So that's the transport system. It's all very good, makes it very easy to get around, and everything's located quite well. This is more or less the centre of Sofia, and I'm going to go and have a look around some of the historic buildings around here. Although first, I think I need a cup of coffee. And just down the road from here, we were looking at this rather interesting old building, and of course a tram goes past as I'm doing it, and right opposite that building was a cafe where we got some nice coffee and cake. You've got to, haven't you?
Pour me another cup of coffee.
Right, I'm in the ruins. There's a story behind this too, and it's a transport story. Before I do, I just want to put my financial hat on. I mentioned that Ruth had a fare on the metro here for 69p. If you bank with one of the legacy banks, they're likely to charge you a different exchange rate because they take a bit out of it, and they're likely to make a foreign transaction charge. So your 69p fare could end up costing you several pounds, so watch out for that. Always try and use one of the new banks, the Monzos, Starlings and Chase of this world, or a card that you know won't charge you all those things. That's that bit over with. Now I'm at Serdika. Serdika is the station that we had to change at. When you come in from the airport, you're on the orange line, and then you have to change at Serdika onto the blue line to get up to the central station to catch a mainline train. And Serdika 2 was built for this purpose. Serdika 2 is the station that revealed all this. When they built Serdika 2, they dug down and found all these remains. Now, most of them are from the 4th to 6th centuries. I think some of the stuff behind glass that's being preserved over there is from the 1st to 3rd century AD. Yeah, AD, let's not get that wrong. So this is what they dug out to make Serdika a new station. And the other thing I'd like to compliment them on is exactly what Serdika 2 looks like. The actual internals of the structure of the the building where the two tracks are and the platforms, to me it's just right. You know, it doesn't look like a typical underground station, that's for sure. It looks good. Well, here is one of their typical underground stations, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's a wire fence down in front of the trains. They tell us in Britain to stand behind the yellow line, so they don't want any accidents, but this wire fence would prevent that happening. It only actually goes up just as the train is ready for boarding. And exactly the reverse happens when the train leaves the station again. As soon as the doors are shut, the wire fence comes down and everybody's safe again. From where we were staying, the railway station was on the other side of a wide dual carriageway, as was the bus station, but we were using a train on this trip and we had to get across without any surface level crossings. The lift was out of order, so we had to go down the stairs and underneath, and virtually the whole access to the station is at low level under the road. First of all, you're crossing under the dual carriageway and it's pretty dark down here. The only lights appear to be coming from the shops. Once you come out from under the dual carriageway, you come into this open area where you do have a choice to go up to the station concourse level, and you can do that via steps, or keep going until you come to the escalators, or you can stay down at this level, which if you've already got your train ticket like we had, you just want to head for the platforms and you stay down here. The destination boards are here. Our train to Varna's on platform 13, so we keep down here and go underneath all the platforms. Each platform has stairs and escalators going up to surface level, and here we're reaching platform 13 and going up to catch our train. Friend Colin had flown in from Liverpool on the same flight as us to Sofia, but he went straight home and we stayed a few nights in the capital to have a look around. He told us that they're doing a lot of works on the main central station here, and we'd have to go out to Sofia North to catch our train up to Varna. That wasn't very clear from the destination boards, and platform 13 actually had a shuttle train out to Sofia North. They kept the far tracks running while they worked on the ones in the middle, and you can see from these pictures that there are workmen and work vehicles who dug up the track bed in the central platforms. There's about 4 or 5 lines still not in operation as we made our trip out. When we first saw this train arrive on the platform, I was hoping it would be the train we'd take all the way to Levski, which is where we get off from the Varna train. But no, Sofia North we had to change onto one of the old trains that we've always travelled on. I'll show you a more detailed view of this type of train in a moment, but first of all let's look at the map. The old-fashioned train seen in the inset takes us from Sofia, bottom left, up to Levski, near the top on the right, and you can see the river Danube and you can see where Svishtov is. That's our final leg of the journey from Levski to Svishtov. So this is what the inside of one of those trains looks like. Very comfortable seats, and the spacing of the seats is good too. So you get plenty of width, you get armrests, and there's only 3 seats in each row, as you can see. Walking up the train you can see the driver, which you may have noticed earlier, and he has a central position in his cab. So this train takes us to a number of small towns and villages. I think there are 3 or 4 stops, and you may recognise the last one as we pull into it. Regular viewers will see Orish Station, and of course the trains on this line used to look like this. This is a photograph from a couple of years ago. But it's good to see that the Siemens trains are back on the trip up to Svishtov. We don't get off at Orish this time because until our house is finished, we're still staying at hotels in Svishtov. So that's our Transport Tuesday from Sofia right up to Svishtov. We'll be back in Sofia for the next episode because we still haven't had a good look round.